we've come all the way giving you the different steps you need to follow, the different steps you follow to construct fish ponds. First of all, we told you we have two types of ponds. We have the earthen and we have those upland types. So earthen ponds, yes, they have one type. You'll need a wetland where you'll dig a ditch and have your pond built there. You can call them natural ponds or you can call them wetland solutions. Now that is called earthen. So we also have upland solutions. So these are the ponds we build in places that are not waterlogged, places where we don't regard as wetlands. So for you, if you just have your home, you have your compound, or just in your backyard, but you have a dream of doing fish, you have no wetland. Okay, your wetland may be a little far from where you stay, and you cannot take very good care. So what you do, you have to choose from three main types. I told you about what we call pond liners. I showed you pond liners earlier on. So those pond liners are very good. They will give you results exactly the same way. Just that it is easy to get accidents. The pond liner easily gets accidents. So you have to take extreme caution to see to it that nothing injures your pond liner. Pond liner is well explained. I gave it to you earlier on. Now we have, I can regard them as rehabilitation solutions. Some people could have had their tanks, very old, those old tanks that are wearing out, they have leakages. So we get those rehabilitate and we have ponds to rear fish. Don't throw away your old tank. You don't have to throw away your old water tank. It can do catfish farming. Yes, I say catfish farming, but you can also do tilapia. Just that catfish will thrive a little more easily. Okay, before I go to the type I'm going to explain to you today, I told you that fish, for so long as you can keep water, for so long as you get any container that can hold water, and you find ways of keeping that water fresh, that water can raise fish. So it doesn't matter what you use, it doesn't matter what container you have. So you just need to have water in a vessel. Even if you have a jerrycan, yes, you can keep your five catfish there. And they will grow. They will go to a certain point. But you have to be keen, you have to take extreme care on how frequently you change the water, or how frequently you take your pH and what have you, to make sure the water keeps safe for your catfish. But today I'm going to explain to you how we build what we call a concrete pond. Some people will call it a brick pond. Some people will call it I don't know, but I'll keep using concrete pond. By the way, when we call it concrete pond, it doesn't mean that we use concrete to build it. Yes, at some point we use concrete, but we don't build it with concrete all through. Yeah, so now this is the pond, like you could see it after the construction. This is how it is going to look. This is how it has to look after construction. So the steps to take, first of all, you'll have to know how many catfish you want to keep. That is the guiding factor. When you know how many catfish you want to keep, it will guide you on how big this pond is going to be. It will guide how the measurements. It will guide you how we're going to take the measurements. For this case, you see, we are going to do a pond that can raise 2,000 pieces at a go. Yeah, so 2,000 pieces. We shall need a width of 5 feet and a length of 20 feet. So 5 by 20. Then we shall take a depth of 4 feet. Yes, we shall keep a depth of 4 feet. Now, when you get to that point and you have gotten your measurements correct, now you're going to choose any place you want to put your pond at home. We usually advise to, you see, anywhere you put it, it will work at home. But we advise that you choose a place, a location where outsiders cannot easily access. It shouldn't be a place where anyone that visits your home just accesses so easily. Yes, you need some privacy. You need to keep them aside. They need to be alone a bit, I would say. So it needs you have to set up a system. You have to set it in a way that someone goes there if they have something, if they have business to do there. Yeah. So I'll first take you back a little bit. You'll need a source of water, by the way. You'll need a reliable source of water. So we are using boreholes many times. Boreholes are very reliable sources of water. Yeah, some people call them shallow wells, all those names. Yeah, but it is that water you drill underground, that underground water that you drill out. Yeah, it is very good quality water for catfish growing. Yeah, so after you've taken your measurements, now what you're going to do is to make a foundation. You see, yes, we are going to build this pond over the ground. That is where it is going to sit. Yeah, it is going to be over the ground, but it doesn't sit on the on bare ground. You know, running water will easily take it or it will sweep away the soil and it will keep in space. So what you do, you first dig a foundation of like a foot, such that this construction begins inside the soil, under the soil, to give it a firm, to make it firm, to give it grip, to make it firm in the ground. Yeah, so that is the first step. That is what you do first. But you have to be sure you have people who know how to build. Yeah, okay, it may seem simple, but if you're not a builder, these things are not so easy. Yeah. So after you've done your foundation, like you see we are doing here, after the foundation, you're going to come and begin doing your brickwork. For the building materials, many times for this pond of 2,000 pieces, we shall need close to about 2,500 bricks. You will need there is a vehicle called a forward. Yes, for plaster sand. You'll need 1 forward of plaster sand. For the costs, it is up to you. These things differ depending on where we stay. The cost of sand is not uniform. Some people stay a bit closer to where sand is mined, so they can get it cheaper. Yeah, so I said about 2,000 bricks, 1 forward of plaster sand. You'll need 15 bags of cement. You'll need water, obviously. Yes, you'll need a 3-inch pipe. You'll need it with 4 bends. Yeah, those will assist us in how we make the outlet and how we control it. Yes, so we shall create it in a way that you don't have to enter inside the pond to release the water. Yeah, remember we said this water has to be changed. We shall keep changing this water every 2 to 3 weeks. So you need, by all means, you need to have an exit. A water drainage. After you've mixed up your materials properly, you have to make sure you have to make the cement a little concentrated, because this volume of water will exert a lot of pressure on the walls here. Yeah, so you need to make this cement a bit conk to make sure it can hold this big volume of water. Now, when you begin the construction, we are supposed to create supports within the walls. First of all, we shall create a wall that has let me call it a width of 9 inches. Yeah, a body of 9 inches. If you don't understand this properly, if you know how people construct the foundations of buildings, yes, the way they align the bricks, that is the way we follow. Yeah, because you need a very strong wall that can support this water. Yeah, so that is why we use that size. That is why we take that size, that design, that style of construction. Now, after that, you will have to put supports in each and every 2 meters. You count every 2 meters, every space of 2 meters, you put a support. 2 meters, you put a support. Yes, these supports will assist you to give extra strength to these walls, to cope with the pressure this water is going to exert on these walls. Yeah, so then the construction will definitely take place. People will construct. Now, you have to make sure. Now we get to the level of laying concrete. Yes, you need to this concrete. The concrete makes the base, the bottom. Let me call it the bottom. Let me call it the floor. Yes, we lay concrete on the floor to make sure the ground beneath doesn't sink in. Sometimes this water is so heavy and the ground beneath can sink in and create water escape channels. Yeah, so you need to lay concrete and make it. You have to make it also firm, such that it can support this water. So you have to make sure that when you're laying the concrete, that is when you fix your outlet, your outlets, like you can see. in this example here. So after that, you need to do the plastering. You need to do the plastering. But now when we are plastering, to our mixture we shall add waterproof cement. Yes, now waterproof cement, we shall add 1 sacket to every bag of cement to make sure that when we lay our walls, they are very solid. They are very solid and they can resist water seepages. Yeah, so we shall need a waterproof cement to reinforce our plaster, such that our walls are not affected by the water, because the water is soaking into the walls. Yeah, so after the plastering, you lay a layer of nil. Yes, in Uganda we call it nil. I don't know if that word is international. Yeah, but we'll lay a layer of nil and put it and lay it on top of the plastering. Yeah, so this layer makes this wall let me say waterproof. It will make sure the water does not actually enter the wall, sink into the walls. Now after the construction is done, from day 2, we shall have to fill this pond with water to full capacity and let this water stay for 2 weeks. Yes, the purpose is when the construction is still new, there are those excited molecules of cement within the walls that easily dissolve into the water. So if you don't take keen notice, cement will dissolve. That first cement will dissolve into the water will get charged. So when you just add your fingerings or what, they will have nothing to do but die. Yes, so that is what we follow to this stage. Now after that 2 weeks, you will get all this water out. Then put fresh water that will keep the fish, that will keep fish that you will begin with. Yeah, so you don't have to forget fertilization. You'll fertilize your pond to make sure it is not business as usual. Yeah, so then you do the usual feeding and continue with the system as normal, as explained before. So these are the pond. These are our pond, our concrete ponds. So that is how they be. Yeah. So the biggest advantage is that these ponds can work anywhere you put it. It will work anywhere you put it. Even the same thing applies to those systems where you want to keep your fish inside the house. So you will have to build walls like this, then add water and keep fish. So this pond can work anywhere you put it, for as long as you can provide water and change water as and of when required. Yeah, so that is the biggest advantage it has over the earthen. Those ponds we dig in wetlands. So we remain open to bookings, to contracts in construction of such ponds, and you're always welcome to work with us. Yes, thank you so much. So we meet next time.
Stop.